Welcome to our podcast. My name is Luke Pace, and welcome back to everyone who's already a subscriber to the channel. If you're not already a subscriber, please subscribe so you can see more great interviews, including the one coming at you right now. A special guest, an often guest on the show, and following up my twin brother. For those that did not watch, the last episode I did was outside of MMA, following my twin brother who's a living kidney donor. And how could I possibly follow up a great interview like my identical twin brother, but the one, the only, the head women's wrestling coach from Waynesburg University, Karli Jo Thomas. Welcome back to the show, Coach.
Good to talk to you, Luke.
Always great talking to you. Thanks so much for coming on the show. We are deep into fight week for you. You have a fight coming up July 20th, which is this Saturday. Very exciting for Monsters Unleashed, the promotion. So talk to us a little bit about how the fight came together. Where is it going to be? What do you know about the promotion? It's super exciting to see you competing against a high-level opponent.
Yeah, the fight kind of came together actually end of June. Actually, it was Justin's fight week. It was about that Wednesday, I think, or so, that I kind of got in touch with. So actually, it's kind of a funny story how this kind of came together. So I met a lady through like the wrestling world, and she was friends with this promoter of it's actually Superfly MMA Promotions, I believe, is what they actually go by. I think the Monsters Unleashed is kind of just like the name of the card. But so she got me in touch with, his name's Devin. I honestly forget his last name, so I don't wanna try to butcher that. But she got me in touch with Devin, let me know that he had a opponent pull out for this fight that I got matched with Cindy Leith. And I wasn't really sure of the weight class, anything like that at first, and just kind of got to talking to her. She led me to him, and that's kind of how it came together. So it's kind of like a unique way, really. I've never had a fight get matched that way.
That is super. That is a super unique, particularly because it sounds like you were talking to your now opponent, kind of getting yourself sort of matched that way. But I've seen fights come together that way, particularly amateur, where it really comes down to the willingness for two people to want to fight. And obviously you're always willing to throw down and be super exciting in the cage. Looks like it's going to be in Wellsburg, West Virginia, and Superfly Promotions. Sorry, online it said Monsters Unleashed, but that's the name of it, which is great. And before we were recording, you were saying that you just found out some information about kind of where you fall on the card. So what do you know a few days out from the fight?
Yeah, actually, Devin messaged me today, and he's like, "How would you feel about being the main event?" He says we had the main event. So one of the gentlemen got an injury, so they're no longer fighting, and I'm like, like I'm down. That's awesome. I've never been in a main event before, so it's going to be a little bit different for me being the last fight. So yeah, I'm super excited about it.
Well, congratulations on that. Super pumped for you to be the main event. That's going to be incredible. How has everything been going for you as far as training and more specifically coming off now 2 wins in a row, one for New Line Cage Fighting back September of 2023, and then the last time you fought for 247 was in December against an absolutely undefeated stud of a fighter at the time, Kara Hode, who you defeated. That was an incredible fight, split decision win. Just a high level fight. Both of you guys showed that you're really at that next level. So what's it been like coming off 2 wins in a row, and particularly off that Kara Lynn Hode fight, and how's it been developing since then?
Yeah, I mean, training's been really great. This is kind of a short notice like fight for me. Like, it was like 3.5 weeks out. But I mean, I'm always in the gym, always like, training. Justin's in fight camp like most of the year. So, it's really just our life. We're kind of engulfed in it. And I just feel real confident just, coming off not necessarily even coming off 2 wins, but just, knowing each fight I'm getting better and better, and able to fight somebody that was like as good as Kara Hode was, as tough as she was, like as big, and she was super big, super strong. And just to kind of overcome that was a challenge for me in that fight. So I'm kind of excited to. This fight will actually be at 125, which is where I feel that I fit a lot better at weight class wise. So I'm really excited to just kind of experience that and be in a weight class that's more comfortable for me, that makes more sense for me. And I'm excited to show off some of the things that we've been working on, improving on. That fight with Kara Hode showed me some that so even though that I was able to come out and get the win, it showed me some places that I needed to get better at, work on. So I feel like I really got a chance to kind of grow in that and just keep getting better and better. And having people around me like Isaac and Chris Williams, Nick Brown. I still go down there and cross train a lot. They're always just giving me advice, giving me pointers, little like tiny details that you don't think matter, but they really do matter when you're fighting people that are at that higher level. And then obviously like living with Justin and just being around him all the time, I mean, that he's really like he's ready for that next step. So just like being able to pick his brain, talk to him, get like advice from him, and drill with him, work with him. And everybody else at the Mat Factory with Chris, all down at All American, just constantly working on my skills, sharpening everything. So I'm definitely super excited to show what we've been working on and how much better I've got in the 6 7 months that I've been out of the cage.
Well, I mean, that's gotten me even more excited. I've been following most of your amateur career and know that you come from All American originally before you went to the Mat Factory with the legendary Nick Brown, who's just such an incredible human being, still very involved in your development. Plus, you mentioned all the Mat Factory people, two of the only two coaches, trainers in the 247 Fighting Championships Hall of Fame. Both are connected to. Now, obviously, Chris Williams coaches pretty much every Pittsburgh fighter, so he's not specific. But obviously, Isaac Greeley being from the Mat Factory and Chris getting all over the place. And then you mentioned Nick Brown, Justin, just really, really exciting for you. As a coach now, because we talked the last couple times you were on, we were talking about you being Waynesburg University's first ever Division III varsity head coach of women's wrestling. It's gonna be really excited. How's that been going, particularly as you continue to develop your MMA skill set? What's the update on the coaching side? I follow you on Facebook. The university wrestling page on Facebook. I can see the people signing up, contracting. Some of the ladies are already athletes, are already members of Waynesburg University student body. Some are getting recruited in. How's that been going, and how's it doing both?
Yeah, I mean, it's been definitely a change up. I mean, I worked a full-time job, which I mean, this is definitely still a full-time job, but I worked a full-time job for most of my amateur career. But now, being a coach, and I have a lot more, really, in a way, a lot more free time to train and like watch video, film, all of that kind of stuff. I get to dive more into the wrestling world. So being a coach is like honestly for me it's a dream come true. I always like said whenever I was done fighting, I'm gonna coach in some way, whether I have my own gym or I coach at a gym somewhere or whatever the case may be. So this is definitely something I didn't expect this early in my life, but I'm super super grateful for this opportunity and to help continue to grow women's wrestling. I know like when I was in high school, that really wasn't an option. So just to be able to be a part of that and give girls these opportunities, like super empowering for me. And it allows me to like really broaden my skills and my techniques and in like my makes my wrestling better, which I believe makes me a better MMA fighter. I think wrestling is a super important aspect of MMA that people tend to kind of ignore that you really shouldn't. Obviously, like wrestling MMA is different, but there's a lot of aspects to it that help you, especially the mentality, the grind, the grit of that. I think that puts me in a little bit of a different situation than some other people. Like I feel like that fight with Kara Hode, I wouldn't have won if I didn't know how to wrestle. Like honestly, point blank period, that would have been a super hard fight for me if I didn't have that like go, and I can go nine hard minutes of wrestling. Like, that's, people don't realize how hard that is to do. So yeah, just being able to coach and like kind of live my dream and fight and just engulf myself in combat sports is like, it's incredible.
Well, that is super exciting. I know everybody at Waynesburg University is going to be blessed by having you being a part of the Waynesburg University faculty and staff. Super, super excited about that. That gives a great mindset of you going into this. Obviously, I hope to be able, like we've said, to follow you as a fighter and now also a coach, and hopefully as the team develops and you're going to go to some meets and some things like that. Hopefully, I can get some of your winning ladies on the show as well, to kind of, because I know right now it's not necessarily a PAC conference sport yet, and
Yeah.
that's typically, so you're going to be traveling quite a bit and kind of developing, because the first one, there's about maybe 8 or 9 schools in the
Yeah.
President's Athletic Conference, and Waynesburg is the first one to have a program. So obviously that's going to be fun to kind of develop that. For you, what are you looking to kind of, obviously a win, right? We're not asking about that. Obviously, you want to win Saturday, but what are you kind of looking out of yourself? Is it the ability to push the pace? Is it the ability to use a little bit more of a skill set? Because I know when the rules are slightly different in West Virginia, you have more of that advanced amateur ground and pound available. Like, what are some of the things you want to see out of yourself?
Really, I want to see me just really start to put everything together better. My last fight, I felt like I was a little bit uncomfortable on my feet. I wasn't mixing it in with my wrestling as smooth as I would like. So that's really a lot of what I feel like I've been able to work on, is kind of being more comfortable on my feet, being able to transition my striking into my wrestling better, and my like cage wrestling to the ground, and maintaining like good position and everything. So that's really what I'm excited about. That's what I want to see out of myself. Just see a more complete fighter. Every time I get in there, that's what I want to do. I want to just continue to get more comfortable in all the situations. I really, really want to show off my striking. I mean, I've been working with Chris Williams for, I think, almost probably, it might be even more than 2 years now, and he's helped me tremendously. And I was a little disappointed in myself that I couldn't like show off how good I can actually strike in my last fight. I want people to view, I don't want people, I really don't care what people think, but also like I want people to understand that I'm an MMA fighter. I'm not just a grappler. I'm not just a wrestler. Like, I can do it all. I can do it all like confidently, and I'm good at it. So I really want to be able to prove that to myself more than anything. Like that, I'm training. I'm doing the right things. I'm training with the right people. I'm making the right choices, and I can do everything. It doesn't matter where the fight goes. If we have to stay on, if I can't take her down and we have to stay on our feet, we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna be fine there. I'm gonna grapple if I want to. I'm gonna put the fight where I want the fight, and I'm gonna make sure that I'm continuing to just get better and better and better in all aspects.
Well, that's about the best preview of a fight. I knew that you're already around such high level MMA coaching and training. You mentioned Justin the General, Pat and Isaac. We've talked about that, but also as you now start to spend more time breaking down wrestling film and some of the things you'll be doing as a coach, you're also going to be, part of a coach's eye is to be able to point out their own people's weaknesses to work on, and then that can be used for you, right? As you step into being a coach, you'll still be open to being coached by others, but I think a lot of times the mindset of a coach then turns onto yourself, and like, how can you find things that you can be working towards? Because part of MMA usually starts with an athlete wanting to learn, and then it kind of starts learning how to learn themselves. So it's super exciting. I can't wait to see you continue. You mentioned that Justin performed incredibly well in his last fight and is really looking at like the next level. And I think he's got maybe 1 or 2 more fights on his contract with 247, and then he'll be really looking to catapult out, to the next level. So really excited anytime I can have the either of the dynamic duo of you and Justin. Sometimes we've even had you on together, which has been
Yeah.
great. Sometimes your dogs join, so we never know who we're gonna have from you guys. But I really appreciate you coming on. Everybody needs to get out there and support. Buy tickets. Go to Wellsburg. It's not don't exactly know where it is, but I figure it's within a drive to be able to go down to West Virginia and support
Yeah.
Karli
It's
Jo.
about an hour and a half from like Pittsburgh area, and
Okay.
like from Uniontown, that's where I've come from, so it's about the same from there. So it's not too far.
Yeah, that's a pretty local fight for you, and I hope you have just an incredible. Now that it's a main event, that's kind of fun. You know, these last minute changes are great. I really appreciate you coming on fight week with a cut down to 125 for you at a size that you want to be. It's a real honor that you made time to come on, so I really appreciate it. Can't wait to have you back on to talk about your big win coming up this Saturday, July 20th. Karli Jo Thomas with Luke Mason from MMA Fancast. Really appreciate you coming on the show. Have a good one.
You too, Luke. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon.
You got it.